right, my first question, and thanks so much for joining us, is based on when you and I first connected. We discussed personal values and why they're so important. Not only understanding your personal values, but also why companies need to understand their values and why value alignment relates to recruitment and retention.
So maybe I'll start up by just defining what core values are, and then we'll talk about significance, about why it's so important to know about it and talk about it and to live it in this day and age. So values for me are ways to keep me aligned. When I know what I value most in my life or career, I can then make decisions that are aligned with me. And when you have complete alignment, then you're fulfilled. The opposite of not knowing your values is that you become lost. Should I take that job? Should I leave? Should I make that move? Like, you're still trying to figure out, and it's hard. It just takes a little bit longer to come to that decision. You might have to look externally for those for that answer versus internally inside, and just reflect on what you feel is most important to you. So having the values is almost like having a map. And it's easier for you to go from point A to point B. Some people love to travel without a map. They like the adventure, and they'll ask, this person on the corner of the street, should I go to this place? Should I go to, and it takes a little bit longer. Maybe there's a little bit more of a journey that way. But if you really want to have clarity, you want to go from point A to point B, more efficient, more effective, make those decisions quicker, then knowing your values is going to support you. So now, how does that relate to the current world? Well, we're all still in a pandemic. Some people might say it's post-pandemic, but I think in some other countries, depending on where you're calling from or listening from, you might still be going into another lockdown. There's some countries that it's increased again. So if you're in Canada and Vancouver, we're a little bit more lucky. It's opened up a little bit more here. But regardless, some people are still, experiencing the aftermath of the pandemic, right? You're still feeling uneasy, uncertain. It's not easy for all of us to just get over it automatically. Some people, maybe they have ways to do that, but some people, it might still linger. So wherever we are, there's some feelings of doubt and fear that's still happening, in our day-to-day. And because of that, there's still a lot of movement in workplaces, right? Some people, maybe it took them a little bit longer to make that decision. Maybe I'll just hang in there while the pandemic's happening, because, you just never know. So now that it seems like it's getting better, things are opening up, maybe I'll apply for that position. So we're still going to see a lot of movement. Some people had more of that, risk. They're okay with the risk, and they'll jump and make a move, or there'll still be more. So this great resignation or great reflection, however you want to look at it, is still going to continue. Now, the values is an important piece, because imagine if you didn't know your values and you didn't know what mattered to you, then you're going to always be confused. You might see someone put in the resignation and take on a new job, and, on Facebook or on social media, like, oh, should I make that move? They look like they're so happy, and maybe I should join them too. And so you're easily influenced when you don't know what your values are, versus if you know your values, you can see all those things happening in the world or within the organization, but you can then take a moment to reflect and go, well, what's really important to me?
Yeah.
If I know what's important to me, then I can figure out whether this is the right place or maybe it's time for a move.